Let's talk a little bit about belonging. Everyone wants to feel like they belong to something, right? Well, the word there and apostrophes used in this book come up a couple of times. On the front page, we see that there's an apostrophe. So it goes apostrophe S. That's for the word Jim's. And it's talking about Jim's sled. So we put an apostrophe right here and an S for the word Jim to say it's his sled. Jim's sled. When we write it like this, we have to put an apostrophe because it belongs to him. Or another way you could say is it's their sled because it belongs to them. Down here I've got the word Meg. You can see a little picture. And if I write an S and an apostrophe here, I change it to Meg's sled. So you can see apostrophes are used to talk about things that belong to other people. Now, one thing we can do to work out the words is by using the context. So we can work out what the word means by looking at the words around it and trying to work it out. You might not know the meaning of the word, and you might need someone to help you with the meaning, but you can also think to yourself, I'm going to use the clues to try and infer what the meaning of this word could be. So let's try the word gust, and I'm going to read it for you so you can get the context in the whole sentence. Meg and Jim and Mom and Dad sit snug in the den as the wind gusts and the snow drifts outside. Using the words around the word gust, what do you think it could mean? Use all the clues. You can use the words, the pictures, your schema. Think about what makes sense. Now you can give it a go by yourself and pause the video. Did you try the word gusts? Well, I can infer that the word gust might mean something to do with how the wind blows and what the wind is doing when it blows. I'm inferring that because I'm thinking about the words that are around it and I'm thinking about what I know about what wind does. Next, let's infer, using the context and using the words around and our schema, what we think the word elm could mean. So, let's sound it out first. Elm. They drag their red sleds past the elm tree to the top of the big sled hill. Try it by yourself first. Ready? Go. Pause the video. Okay, so you should have given it a go to think about what it means. I'm going to infer that the word elm tree is the type of tree that it is because it comes right before the word tree. This one's a little bit trickier, but let's try it. Snowdrift. The sled goes faster and faster until it spins and hits a big snowdrift. That one's a little trickier. It doesn't exactly explain to us in the story what it means. So we can try and infer. We can take a look at the picture. We can think about what we know. But sometimes what we also need to do is say, what does snowdrift mean? And we need to have the word explained to us so that we can understand the vocab word. So, what the word snowdrift means is when the wind blows the snow from where it was sitting off into a big pile of snow, or blows it into a different shape so that it makes these big waves and bumps. Zigzag. Let's try that one. Their red sleds zigzag on the snow as they drag them up the hill. Well, I'm going to infer that that probably means the way that it moves. So zigzag must be a way that it moves along the snow. Now you probably know what the word zigzag means, but we can still use inferring skills to help us work out what we think words mean. Ow for both sounds. O-W, ow. O-W, ow. There's a cow going down D-O-W-N, ow. O-U, ow. O-U, ow. O-U-T, O-U-T, get out of here, you bumblebee. Here's a list of words that have the O sound, the ow sound, and the ow sound. So we're going to go through each word and talk about it. This is the word route, like you take a certain route to get somewhere. Spout, like you would have on the edge of a house. Cow. Tow, like when you tow a car. We have the word plow, like when you're doing snow plowing. Brown. Brow, like your eyebrow. Trout is a type of fish. Blow and groan. So what I want you to do is take this list and put it into this list and see where you think they should go. Pause the video and try that now. So here's what you should have done. You should have had route, spout, cow, toe, plow, brown, brow, trout, blow, and groan. If this is what you got in your list, then that is correct. Well done. You may notice that all of these words have the ow or o sound somewhere in them. And there's a pattern to it. The pattern is that when you see OU, it's usually always in the middle of the word. See? In the middle. Whereas if you have OW, it's usually always at the end of the word. Here are some words from the story that I want to point out today, which we're going to sound out together. So these are all decodable words. That means that you can go through each of these different words and you can sound it out. I want you to take a look at the list and you're going to pause and try it by yourself first. Ready? Go. Can you pick out any words that you see that have the same endings? I can see bumps, jumps, and dumps. What I want you to do right now is come up with a funny sentence using the words bumps, jumps, and dumps. Pause, ready, go. Let's talk about retelling the story. When we retell a story, we want to make sure we're pulling out just the most important details. If we're pulling out really random things that aren't actually to do with the story, then we're not getting down to the main ideas. So if I said the main thing that happened in the story was that there was a girl named Meg who had a red coat, you might say, that's not the most important thing. I wouldn't mention that as an important detail. I would say that's a small detail that doesn't need to be talked about when we retell. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the words first, next, then, finally, and you're going to think about how you could break down the story if you only had 4 sentences that started with these words where you got to retell it. Pause the video and you could do that right now. First, next, then, finally, talking about the most important details. If your buddy or your parent decides that, hey, I think you missed a couple of important details, you need to go back over and think, oh, what were some of the ones that I missed that I really needed to add into my retell? Okay, it's time for you to go and enjoy your first reading of Meg and Jim's sled trip by yourself on the website. Go to the Flyleaf website and you can read through that now. And after you're done, I want you to be thinking, did I notice some of those things that we were focusing on today? Happy reading!